I mean, I would not be mad about it.
We're good to go, baby.
Oh yeah, welcome everybody to Twitch crew talk. I can't think. I had an echo in my head, so it made me.
The cruise of the talk.
I had an echo in my head. Okay, I'm sorry.
The cruise.
Welcome everybody. I am Museshell. These guys are
JonTron. No, I'm Rambo.
fired.
I'm Harry Wizard Gaming.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the talk. Welcome.
Quick hellos, Miss Calicoy, Kyo, hello, hello, Tyler GG.
No waffles
welcome.
for you.
And Mike.
Burning Trees, hello, and Mike, hi. How's everybody tonight? You doing good?
No waffles for Kyo.
No waffles, no food for Kyo. Who
No,
killed Kyo?
No.
No.
Squirmy, don't me.
See, I need a better way.
Oh, hey, you got your merch on. I got
Oh, yeah.
that. Oh, hello, Lady Edge.
I'm naked with.
Should I just do the rest of the stream like this?
There you go. That works. What the oh? All right,
Hello.
tonight
This is Crew Talk Podcast.
we're going to be talking about games coming out in 2019, as well as kind of our favorites that are going to be in the list, or maybe not in that list. Who knows? As well as we kind of did a 2018 recap last time, but Harry wasn't here, so we're going to let him recap his 2018.
I forgot I was doing that.
And and then we're going to talk some capture cards devices and another fun little thing that's coming out via Elgato. That's kind of the basic rundown. So I got quiet.
You got quiet? You're high up, though. How did you get...
Easy.
There, you're at 200%.
200%.
I did because there was apparently an additional one that made an echo, so I removed it.
Doodly-doo.
Gotcha.
Aha.
All right.
Aha.
Let's start with our list of games coming out
She's
in
still
2019.
She's
I'll
still
sit closer. That might help.
She's still quiet. She's so loud, though.
Technical difficulties. Yay.
Without technical difficulties.
She's still quiet. She's so loud, though.
I don't know. I think Rambo's always loud. Maybe he should just quiet down a little bit up there.
I'm a loud person, bro. All right.
I kid.
All right, I've got our list here. This by no means is a comprehensive list of games coming out in 2019, nor is it necessarily in order of expected release date. Just games coming out in 2019. And some of them I have information on, some not. The first one on the list is Anthem, coming out next month. It's an EA BioWare game. That should be an interesting one. Resident Evil 2. We have Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, coming out in March. Metro Exodus will be coming out next month. I noticed a lot of these games are coming out like January, February, March.
A lot of them for their listing and everything showed that it is, but that's just because they put towards marketing of what they're wanting to release. Not that it's going to actually release on that date.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming up. I know a lot of people are excited about that one.
Very excited. I've been excited about that game for like 10 years.
I've been waiting a lifetime.
Devil May Cry 5. Crackdown 3.
That's gonna get delayed. Let's
it's always delayed, dude.
For like 4 more years.
Crackdown 3's been delayed since it was first announced. It just happens.
It happens. Rage 2 is coming out. We're gonna talk more about these games too as we go, guys. Days Gone, Dead or Alive 6, Gears 5, Doom Eternal,
5.
Doom,
Jump Force, Skull and Bones. So for you pirates out there, there'll be another pirate.
What's Skull and Bones? Like a Sea of Thieves type deal?
I will get to that. It is a piece
of
beauty. It's a piece of beauty.
His list. The Walking Dead, the final season, episode 3 is coming out to this year. Far Cry, New Dawn, Tom Clancy's The Division 2, Mortal Kombat 11. They're releasing a Battletoads, which I thought Yeah.
And all the stuff I looked at, I didn't see that. I saw Toe Jam and Earl 2. I didn't see
Yeah, I didn't like
Battletoads.
that
I
one.
want
That
You
was-
saw Toe
Battletoads.
Jam, but not Battletoads. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I feel-
All right.
You're telling me, dude. I'm so
No,
excited for Toe Jam.
And you call yourself a gamer.
This one,
Mm-mm. How dare
he's
you?
drinking his banana milk. Leave him alone.
Yeah. Le-
Um,
First of all, this banana milk is delicious. I don't care that it's in a juice box. It's really tasty. It's my first time having it. Both of you need to relax. First of all, this banana milk is delicious.
I've actually had banana milk, and it's actually pretty tasty. So,
Thank you.
BANANAS.
I've also had root beer milk. This one isn't
Don't know what
a
that
new game or games, but they're bringing it to Switch. They're bringing Final Fantasy 7,
To Switch?
9, 10, and 12 Zodiac.
What the? All right, Rambo's no longer part of the podcast. See you later, dude.
There's also talk for sure about
he's back.
12 coming to Xbone.
12 is the greatest one.
So
Anyone that
but
argues
so bringing
with
those
me-
to Switch this year.
As in the Final Fantasy series, 12 is the best one.
It's
is
my
that what you're saying?
it's my personal favorite.
Okay, I go back and forth between 7 and 10 all the time. I know.
Another discussion,
I'm
another
being a
discussion.
bitch.
Another discussion from another time, but 7's overrated.
Probably. No, it probably is. I mean, I don't think I would have liked that game if I played it when I wasn't 7 years old.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's fair. That's fair. Psychonauts 2. I know there's a few people out there like the first Psychonauts.
First Psychonauts,
Um,
PlayStation 2, classic and humorous.
Another Wolfenstein, the Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Yes.
Is supposed to be coming out.
This one will
Um,
be good.
and then I have 3 games that people may not know about that are coming out. The Sinking City looks really cool, kind of interesting, spooky. In the Valley of the Gods is another game coming out by Campo Santo. For those of you that played Firewatch, it's the same creators.
Upon our souls.
And it's actually based in 1920s Egypt adventure.
Oh.
So that one looks kind of cool. And for the people that have played Ori and the Blind Forest, which I know there's quite a few that have,
The second one.
Mhm.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps is coming out this year.
Yeah, it's called Will of the Wisps Rambo, not the second one.
The second
Get it
one.
right, dude. It's not Ori 2.
It's coming out after. It's the second.
It might be a prequel. You don't know that.
This is true.
Borderlands a pre-sequel, still the third one, but it
Yeah, that the pre-sequel.
we don't talk about
So
that.
Those are some of the games that are coming out. Again, it's not a comprehensive list by any means. There's a bunch coming out. It
There's
should be a good year for gaming.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more. Those are the main big AAA titles and the big fan ones. There's definitely more Kickstarter ones probably going to be announced future on. But these ones right here are pretty much like the ones that were announced either on E3 or other such things just within it.
Yep. And there's some different Nintendo games. Mike mentioned Yoshi's Crafted World. That's another one that will be coming out in 2019. So
Yoshi Crafted World's coming out pretty fast, isn't it?
I think so. A lot of these are actually like The Walking Dead. That is coming out this coming week.
Wait, the Telltale
The
type one?
Walking Dead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the last one.
Yeah.
Sienna.
The one that's not being made by Telltales.
Resident Evil 2 is
Love
this
it.
month. Kingdom Hearts 3 is this month. So, there's some stuff coming up pretty quick.
Cool.
Pretty quick. A Carrick rating with a party of 2. Thank you so much. We
Welcome,
appreciate
Raiders.
Hey, hi guys.
What's good?
So we're gonna now we each kind of compiled our own list of our top 10 that we're looking forward to this year. So feel free to jump in, let us know what you're looking forward to.
Music
Or
did top
crazy.
6 because she's lazy.
I don't have 10. You were lucky to get 6.
Someone's
I'm
gonna
not
get hit
as big of a
later.
gamer. It's fine. I can count to 6. One,
That's
2,
10
3,
fingers
4.
that you just
Okay.
said. I need you to know that. I need everybody that listens to this
I
at
can
a later
count to
time
6,
to
I
know she said,
swear.
count to 6 and raise 10 fingers.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Just
5,
so
6.
everybody's aware.
1, 2, 3, 4.
5, 6. Oh my goodness, look at that. Alright, who's going first?
Since I've been talking, I'll let one of you guys go.
Rambo, me, Rambo, me, Rambo, me, Rambo.
I feel like
Okay.
Carrie's having a crisis identity right now. Identity
I got
crisis
some
right
honorable
Who
mentions.
am I?
too, though.
What am I? So if we're talking about like games and whatnot for 2019, my top one that like I'm super excited for is Doom.
Doom.
I
Hey, you
found
started with number 1. Who does that?
all right. You know,
I mean, you go. You do you, boo boo.
I can
You do
remove
you,
your webcam.
His
Watch it,
top
bud.
10 can
dude.
be
Dude, I'm all.
whatever
I'm,
he wants
I'm
it
all
to
for
be.
it. Mm-hmm.
So Doom Eternal,
You go, girl.
just because 2016's Doom that came out by and made by id Software and published by Bethesda was outstanding, and like a remake that was so well done. So seeing one up for Doom Eternal and how they're working on it from Doom 2, and it being in the city and everything and on Earth, I really like the way they're going with it and the fact that they're adding so much to it, but also staying true to the speed of how Doom is.
So exciting. I mean, the way they did the. Oh my god! I just got banana milk all over myself.
You just squirted milk.
Yeah, that was
One
a disaster. Doom. You're right. The 2016 Doom was just insanely well done. So perfect. I haven't played an arcadey feeling first-person shooter that is somehow also a beat 'em up in I don't know how long since the original Dooms. And then yeah, it looks like it's going to be doing the same thing this time. And you got that grappling hook thing.
Yeah,
Which I'm sure is just going to add to the goriness that
that's on
be.
with the Super Shotgun though when they were showing it, which
Yeah.
is cool. Second one would have to be Gears, just because I'm a big Gears fan. I love the Gears of War series. I played Gears of War 4 with a streamer from the past, and it was a blast. I felt so many emotions, but I was like, oh, once they left us at such a great point. I'm so excited that they're continuing it, and where they're going is going to be interesting.
So far, your list is almost exactly mine. Almost.
Gears 5, dude. Let's
Gears 5
is
is gonna be amazing. Gears 5 is gonna be fantastic.
Third one is actually Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice, and just because I'm a big fan of From Software, I played all their Dark Souls. I only finished 1 and 3. I gave up on 2 because I didn't like it. But I love the feel, the challenge between what Dark Souls brings. So I'm extremely excited for Sekiro because it feels like the fast pace of how Neo was, if anyone's played Neo, but From Software's engine and everything. So yeah, exploring and everything. So that's the one I'm excited for. For those anime fans out there, Jump Force.
Jump Force. Jump Force. Number 4.
I'm excited, dude. They have Yu-Gi-Oh in it.
I'm so scared for that game. I think it's going to be either really amazing or really, really not good.
It's going to be just...
it's in my honorable mentions on my list because of that reason.
It's going to just be mass fan service, dude. That's all it is.
Well, yeah. But that's my point. So it could literally go either way. It could be mass fan service and be so much fun to play, to have Naruto fight fucking Goku, things like that. Or
Yu-Gi-Oh!
It could just be trash.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
It could just be not fun. So I'm excited for that, but I got to give it some time before I could put it on any sort of list.
The one thing I find interesting, though, is that within the Shonen Jump, they're having Light Yagami in there, but he's a boss. He's not an actual playable character.
Really?
Yeah.
So I saw that kind of makes sense though, because when they said that they had Death Note people in there, I was kind of like, okay, dude. Well, how is Light gonna be fun to play?
They have him as a boss just because his oh my god, I forgot the name of what they're called.
Dude, don't ask me, man.
The demons that hang with him. He's like overpowered. So even they announced they're like, we're not gonna have him as a playable character just because his partner's overpowered as hell. So
yeah, so be like, what's your name, Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yugi-Moto, alrighty there. Let's put you in. You're dead.
Nice try.
Good
Come
game.
back later, wise guy.
GG.
Right.
What else? Resident Evil 2, I'm curious about. I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up. I feel like I am just because I did a playthrough of like all.
So you're a Resident Evil player. So.
I did that playthrough of like all the Resident Evil games from 0, 1, and then up. So I think I'm probably gonna get it just to check it out and whatnot. I like that they're using the Resident Evil 7 engine And I like that they're changing the camera instead of having it the angle
The camera's gonna
fixed.
be
They're
huge.
having it as the Resident Evil 4 camera, the
Mhm.
third person viewing. They said that they're sticking true to the story and everything, but they changed so much within the gameplay and certain scenes and certain things within it that you're not just going to be playing through a remake. It's gonna make you feel like you're playing something entirely new.
A new game.
But with all of that from Resident Evil 2 and the story. So I'm extremely excited because I never got to play Resident Evil 2 when it came out. So to see this change and everything of what they did, I'm hyped.
I mean,
hyped
most
about
people
it.
consider Resident Evil 2 to be like the best in the whole series, which is pretty
Yeah.
high praise.
Yeah.
The cult following for that series is pretty big. And from the people that have gotten their hands on the new Resident Evil 2 coming out, like reviewers and things like that, I haven't really heard anybody say any negative things.
No.
So I have a feeling it's gonna be really good. One Gamecast I actually listened to, the guy was saying he's never played any Resident Evil 2. He's only played Resident Evil 5 out of the whole series. He said it was one of the best games he's played. So I'm really, really excited for that. But it's still only number 7 on my list.
Yeah, I'm curious on it. Let's see. Kingdom Hearts. Anyone?
My numero uno.
I'm excited for that. The only reason why it's not on my like number 1 and whatnot is just because of the long wait.
That's why it's on my number 1, man.
Well,
The
it's just
anticipation.
because they kept announcing like, oh, it's gonna be this year, it's gonna be this, and then there's like the hype for me personally died down. I'm excited
like-
about it and I want to play it, but I'm just like, eh.
I feel like I only remember them announcing it like once or twice. Everything else is just rumor.
Resident Evil 4
Like,
or
them-
bust.
Specifically doing it, I feel like wasn't a big thing.
Baggy.
That's not on the list, Baggy.
Get
Wow.
updated. All right, we're not in 2007. Okay, let's
Games
go.
that we're excited for, 2006. Resident Evil.
I want the Resident Evil 4 remake, please, right here in copy. Thank you.
It's really good. It's really, really good.
I know a lot of people are super excited for Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts is gonna be great.
Well, one,
It's gonna be
because
such a good game.
Square Enix is great. And two, who doesn't love Disney? Like
Some people
only those.
like the Heartless, for instance. They don't like Disney very much.
The Heartless.
They're not a big
God,
fan.
God damn it. But yeah, no, an amazing series from an amazing company. I'm excited for Kingdom Hearts 3. So stoked, dude. I'm not.
Don't repeat what I typed.
So stoked. I'm not excited for Crackdown.
You're not?
No. I only played the second one, so
Well, that's why you're not excited for Crackdown.
Well, yeah, but the fact that they're having like 5 different companies working on it, it's gonna be a cluster. It's gonna be a cluster.
It's gonna be a huge cluster. I can't wait to get to my top 10 so I can talk on this. Yeah, there's things I want to say about that
it's
game
gonna
for
be
sure.
it's gonna be a mess. Dead or Alive 6, just because
Ooh.
fan service,
call.
dude.
Good call.
Mass
You know what though?
fan
I've actually
service.
always been a big fan of Dead or Alive. I think what attracted to me, it's not on my list, but obviously when I was a kid going to puberty, I'm like, look at these boobs. But then I got really good at the game, and the game was a lot of fun. I think I think it is actually a really fun fighting game, regardless of all the jigglies.
Did we talk Division 2 yet? Division 2
mentioned that it was
not
was
talked Division
announced.
2 yet,
Yeah, it was.
But it is something I will be saying.
So that's gonna be interesting to Dead or Alive because it's made by Team Ninja. Team Ninja actually helped and worked on Neo, and they were also the ones that made Ninja Gaiden. So action-packed gameplay you want, that's it. And to all those Sea of Thief fans out of there, haters, Skull and Bones is on my list. It's made by Ubisoft Singapore. It is a more realistic approach to the pirates and MMO online like PvP styles. So everything that you would pretty much think the style of how Sea of Thieves is, Skull and Bones is going to bring it, except there's going to be like brigades you can do, actual like build certain things, so you can do so much with it. But the graphics look so good. They look so good, and I'm actually a little bit hyped on it. The last game I was excited for from Ubisoft was Rainbow Six Siege. So the fact that I'm like seeing this coming from them, and I'm like, I may have to pique my interest upon it. Is that so? That's kind of it. That's kinda
Okay,
it.
okay, okay.
Aggie says Skull and Bones should be cool, but doesn't know Sea of Thieves also has things coming and is pretty. So I would agree with that.
Mhm.
I think Dragon Noodle Arms
Probably
just wants to be
too.
a pirate, which who doesn't really?
Sea of Thieves is great in its way
When
if
he's called the captain.
its style and beauty. Like I love Sea of Thieves for its art, its style is whatnot. But I am also like I want to see something that have pirates, combat, and everything that Sea of Thieves has in a realistic style, and that's why I'm excited for Skull and Bones.
I mean, I gotta be honest. I didn't really play Sea of Thieves when it first released. I got super excited for it. Then me and my roommates watched a couple streams on it for a couple days because we didn't get it right away, and nothing really caught my attention, and it never did. And then they updated a bunch, and that's why I like that game because they actually worked on the game and made it a better game. They understood that they had this game here that could be great. It's not really hitting right, and then it turned out great. No Man's Sky did the same thing. No Man's Sky was such an ambitious game, then it crashed and burned and was the biggest letdown almost ever in gaming. And now it's a playable game, which is hard to come back from. People actually like the game, and it's hard to come back from being a trash game.
Yeah, but I heard people talk about No Man's Sky, and they're like, if you bought the game now for what it is, they're all like, this is a great $30 game.
Yeah, right. So it doesn't make it better, but I still think it's crazy that they did that. That it was it's the biggest flop I've ever heard of in gaming.
Oh yeah,
ever.
No, it was the most overhyped game for 2016. Is that crazy?
Insane.
Northern Bud is talking about Death Stranding. I don't know anything about that, and whether I haven't heard if it's coming out anytime soon.
It's announced.
2020.
Its announcement has been to be determined, but
it's not on my list.
It's Kojima's game. Kojima is the creator of Metal Gear Solid. He worked with Konami, and everyone's heard that he left.
Yeah, and then they made that new Metal Gear Solid game.
That was booty.
Abysmal. Absolutely,
it's
bad
terrible.
looking game.
So this game is with Kojima's business, and he's making it. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
I want to say something on what Baggy just said. Division 1 was a pretty big flop and came back from them later too. That was probably the biggest flop to playable game for me I've ever played. Me and my roommates got the Division. We're so excited for it. My one roommate loves games like Diablo. He loves all those grinding for loot games. I'm not a big fan of them. So Division coming out right away, I got that SMG everybody grinded for, and then didn't touch the game again. I thought it was absolutely garbage. It was not fun. I got like 10 hours of playtime into it and then was bored. However, then they made that Dark Zone like survival type crazy multiplayer thing. So much fun. Where you could just rob people for their gear. Oh man, I was having so much fun playing that. That's another big turnaround game for me. I know some people liked it originally. I didn't like it till they updated that.
I never played the game up until that update came out, and I had some buddies convince me to buy it. I played it for 2 days, and I was like, I'm done, dude. Waste of money.
Yeah.
Xbox, give me a refund. Xbox doesn't give refunds? Well, shit.
Bloop, bloop. Yeah, well, then you're screwed. Sorry, not sorry. All right. Well, does that take care of your
go on, sir? It's
cool.
I think he's done. So
I might be slightly longer, but I'm not going to touch as much on his stuff. I do have honorable mentions though. Cyberpunk 2077. That does not have a guaranteed release date. Everybody's guessing that it's 2019, and that's why it's not actually on my list. That game looks sweet. It obviously could be bad, but it's got so many elements. It looks like to me like Star Wars meets Borderlands meets Fallout, and then in the 90s. I don't know. It's very cool, aesthetically pleasing. They have like a 50-minute playthrough of it that you can watch on YouTube. The whole thing looks awesome. Awesome story, but don't know if it's coming out. Metroid Prime 4. I am 90% positive this game's going to come out this year. There's no way to know that for certain. I might just really want it to. But I don't know of anything that Nintendo has big coming out this year, so I would assume Metroid might be one they can do. It's been in production for a little bit. We all saw that JPEG. I'm very excited for that. And then Jump Force, as I said, only in honorable mentions because I'm gonna give it time. And then, have you guys heard anything about a game called Black Sad?
No.
Okay, I don't know anything about it. It's releasing in 2019. When I was trying to do my research. I was watching a bunch of 2019 trailers. It looks like, what's that pet movie? Zootopia. It looks like Zootopia. That's not a pet movie. That's just an animal movie.
There's a lot of pet movies.
We'll
What's
go with
that
it, though.
pet movie, guys? Cats vs Dogs? No. It looks like Zootopia meets 1950s, 60s era of murder mystery. I don't know how else to explain it. Like Spider-Man Noir, except Zootopia. It looks like there's like rhinos that are cops. I don't know. Just look into it. It's like a 2-minute trailer. I recommend everybody watches it. It looks awesome, but nothing else about it. So top 10. Number 10 is Crackdown 3. It will never go higher on the list. It might be knocked off the list because it might get pushed back 2 days before release. That game was supposed to be an Xbox One release game and it's still not out. However, Crackdown 1 was awesome. Loved Crackdown 1. Crackdown 2, kind of disappointing. Didn't like it too much. Crackdown was a lot of fun. Number 9, Luigi's Mansion. It is coming out 2019. It does not have a name, I don't think. It might just be Luigi's Mansion 3. Not sure. Excited for that. A lot of people aren't, but I am. Animal Crossing for the Switch. Super excited for that. I played a lot of Animal Crossing in my life. Then the Resident Evil 2 remaster we talked about. Shadows Die Twice we talked about. Shadows Die Twice looks amazing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that game, probably. The number 5, and I was really surprised actually that Rambo didn't talk about it because I feel like he'd like this game. Anthem? You're not looking for Anthem?
Anything by EA, I will burn.
So that's okay, but it's BioWare.
I still no.
Because that's the first thing I said. I didn't know it was by EA until like 3 days ago, and I talked to my friend. I was like, "Holy shit, this game's by EA. There's no way it's gonna be good." So
Yeah, but that goes into it. Like, I appreciate DICE as a company, but DICE is so restricted on so many things because of EA. That's why I will not like anything that is under the name of EA, because they literally grind the developers like rear ends with it on making it what they want. And so I am not hyped for Anthem at all. But I know others are.
Agree, but I've never had an issue with EA. So I'm one of the few that doesn't have an issue with EA. And so,
oh, Baggy, I see you're looking for Animal Crossing too. Yeah, I don't know. I've had a lot of issues with EA, mostly just money stuff, but just not a big EA fan. Devil May Cry 5. Devil May Cry came out when I was a little kid. It was super edgy, super, oh, look at me, I'm Dante Badass. Has 2 pistols, can't shoot like this.
The primal state of emo.
Right. So the edgelord game that was Devil May Cry was perfect for me at my age, and I've loved the series ever since. I think Devil May Cry 5 is going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of cool stylistic combos, all the stuff the franchise is known for. Gears 5, of course, is my number 3. Gears 5 is going to be amazing. All right, the skill box. Oh, yeah, it did start the loot box.
You don't have to buy loot boxes. That's my thing.
Well, that's a poor thing.
But they started the whole thing on the scandals with Star Wars Battlefront 2, which was like a promising game, but they completely just destroyed it. And now they had like lawsuits and everything going on with it. So EA's just a poor company when it comes to their customer support and everything and doing what's right. That's why I don't like them. They're not good to their customers at all, and they're terrible to their employees.
Yeah, there's a lot. EA gets a lot of flack. A lot of flack. But yeah, Gears 5. Yes. I can't think of a Gears of War game I didn't like ever at any point. Some of them are worse than others, but every single one's been great.
Gears of War Judgment.
I knew you were gonna say it. I kind of led into it by saying I can't think of one I don't like. Yeah, but you know what? That's comparing it to other Gears of War. It's kind of like, The Office, the last couple seasons. You're comparing them to the other seasons of The Office, but they're still really good. They're just not as good as the other seasons of The Office.
Oh, I can't compare to that because I never watched The Office, so...
Oh my god, I'm leaving this fucking past. I don't know. I can't do references. What's the point of being here, honestly?
Oh, and gone.
He's out, folks.
Really though, I like Judgment. I like the story for all the Gears of War. You know, Gears of War 3, I don't care about spoilers because that game's old. But like when Dom died, that was insane.
What's
That was the
What?
craziest thing.
What's great is that Gears of War 3 was not, the story was not created by the actual developers. It was created by the lady who actually wrote the books. And that's why it was so well told on the story, because it wasn't like all runs and guns. They actually had an emotional point towards it, and that's why it was like the most emotional like game to be released out in that year.
All of them are
Because
so good. And you
it
wanna talk
wasn't
about,
made by like a company. It was made by a freaking author who loves the stories and made her own books on it. And it was just that's like amazing.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. But yeah, the game just hands down from campaign being awesome, captivating, fun to play, couch co-op, to the online being so like, oh, Nasher battle me 1v1 and gridlock, like things like that. Oh, that game's so good. Doom Eternal, number 2, because Doom. Because Doom. I don't really have to say anything else, I don't think.
It's
Just 'cause
Doom, dude.
Sufficient.
It's Doom. Doom could have fucked up if the last Doom wasn't good. But now we all know that Doom will never fuck up. Doom will
'cause
always be Doom.
Its software is going back to what they're good with.
Mm-hmm. Doom will just always be Doom. And then number 1, Kingdom Hearts 3. Because I've been waiting for it forever. It's just like what Rambo said. What can you not like about traversing through Disney worlds that have just been mashed up with this crazy story that no one can actually follow? But it's still awesome.
Traversing through Disney worlds as characters with fancy Japanese hairstyles. What can't you
Right.
like?
Hey, and you got a lot of buckles all over the place and zippers, and so you look really cool. I mean, and the Keyblades have always been cool to me since I was a kid. Like, when you go to this
No
place, you
cutting.
get different Keyblades. I don't know. That game is going to be awesome too, I think. But that's my 2019 I'm excited for.
Nice, nice.
That's all of it.
Baggy mentioned Last of Us 2. I don't think they've mentioned
There
any
was
sort of release date on it.
That's
Yeah, there
can't
was
say
no-
it. Last of Us 2, I would probably be excited for if it was a guaranteed. That's what I'm most excited to
I
play
haven't
this year.
heard anything.
Yeah, nothing to be determined on the site and everything.
Oh, what's up, Vincent? Yeah, I don't know. I never even played Last of Us 1. It's what I'm most excited to play this year, though. Out of not a
I need to
2019
play
game.
2. I have it. I've watched it played. I've never actually played it. I need to play it for myself.
I
Um,
haven't watched it played. I actually feel mean because I've left streams for people I like supporting, being like, "Hey, sorry, I don't want to be spoiled by this game."
That's
What can you
fair.
do?
I think you will love it.
That's that's crazy that how long the game's been out. There's still people that come and are like, "Hey, I love to be here, but I don't want spoilers." That's insane that how impactful Naughty Dog put onto that game.
It's super,
Right, because you hear such great things about it, you don't want it to get ruined. That and Undertale are the only 2 games that I ever have been like, I don't want spoilers until I play this game. And then I played Undertale, and now I don't care.
Yo, Undertale, I'm so surprised on that game was made by like freaking
One person.
MS Paint, dude. It was made in MS Paint and
The
coded.
entire thing is so good. The game is so good. As a
Um,
person.
who was it? Oh, Mike mentioned if we throw DLC in the mix, he's throwing the addition of Joker into Persona 5. That's what he's. looking
Oh,
forward to.
it's a Smash.
Yes.
So,
I know.
yes.
I know. Sometime January 31st. I don't know.
Y'all want to hear a
Sometime-
fun fact?
No.
Okay, fine.
I'm kidding. Go.
Persona 5 is the reason I haven't been streaming lately. I made a bet with somebody halfway through last month that I would beat Persona 5 by the end of January without streaming it. That game is awesome. I just finished the second palace.
I gotta replay
I got
that
a lot
game.
to go. It's sweet. It's very good, but it's 100 hours, so I've been trying to win that bet.
Yep.
It's
But-
really what it
Love
comes down
it.
to.
No.
And now they're going to be in Smash.
We got Joker coming in, but
Joker.
we they're finally towards the end of January they're releasing the Piranha Plant, which was a pre-order DLC that was supposed to come. So they're finally getting the people who pre-order the game or want the Piranha Plant. That's coming, and Joker's coming as well.
And it looks like talking about releasing Persona 5 itself, excuse me.
That would
A
be
port to
that,
Switch.
that would be the craziest thing if
Really?
they did that. If once they released Joker, they also
Make that
hinted
$100
at
a lot easier.
releasing to Switch. That would be such a big deal as well, just because that's a PlayStation game, and how PlayStation is so picky on letting other games on, especially that of their own. That would be huge. That would be huge.
They're getting wrecked by that, though, because everybody else is like, play together. and they're just like at some point they're gonna have to, they're so far ahead, but you know that they're realizing they're gonna have to when they did the Fortnite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at that point, you're like, okay, Sony is realizing that, hey, yeah, we're far ahead. We don't have to work with each other, but we're getting way too much flack.
Like I know so many friends and people that want to play Persona so much, but they don't have a PlayStation, and so like if that happens, they're like that just makes it easy for me to play Persona.
That's me. I got PlayStation specifically for exclusives.
I have,
But it coming to Switch is sweet. Any RPGs coming to Switch is sweet.
and it would be
It's true,
great
and
too
just
to have it on.
the mobility of that would make it so nice.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
playing Persona on the portable of that, like it'd be great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I can literally, if I was playing right now, I'd just be like, hey, yo, just like you just did, just walk away with it, go to bed, lay down, play. I could be playing it right now because I don't really care about Rambo's top 10, obviously. So I can just play it right here. It's fine.
That's
It feels bad, man.
Top 10.
I'm kidding. I love you, Rambo. Sorry.
All right.
Unless you're playing Smash against each other, and then it's all war.
No, that's
I-
only with Eddie.
Yo, I told Ceridian that the Twitch was having a Smash tournament. He's like, oh, easy, dude.
I have details on that to be
He hasn't even
announced.
seen me.
He does tournaments for Smash.
I don't care. I'm gonna whoop them. I'm gonna whoop them all. Give me K. Rool. I'm a belly flop
Yo,
all the way to the top.
He thinks K. Rool's
But
the
I
easiest
I
player.
have
He is.
I have more details about said tourney coming up, so but we'll get to that in a little bit.
It's gonna
I
be on
don't
a Friday,
have
Saturday.
I don't have a top 10 because I don't go after a lot of these games. Like Gears, it's a cool game. I would never play it.
Ah.
You said that about Siege.
I most likely wouldn't play. Like, it's not something that I'm like. It's not one of those games that I'd be like, oh my god, I have to have this game.
You didn't have an
If I ended up
attachment
getting
towards
it, or if somebody gave it to me or whatever, then that's one thing. But for me to be like super excited for it and to like pre-order or like whatever, that's just not me. For a lot of those games. So yeah. So that being said, the ones I'm kind of looking forward to, and they're not in any order necessarily in particular. I am curious to see this episode 3 of The Walking Dead. It's been such a great storyline. Want to see where it goes, what happens, what they do with it, especially since it's the end of everything with Telltale no longer being. I'm curious about Ori because I did start the first one. I haven't finished it. So it does make me want to go back and restart Ori and the Blind Forest and actually finish it so that when Will of the Wisps comes out, I will have interest in playing it and seeing what it goes. And I do love the art style in that one. So that one
Ori
I'm
is
excited about for that.
such a beautiful game. I'm sure the
It
second one's
is.
gonna be just as beautiful.
It should be. I've seen a few screenshots, that they've been sharing, and it's
Mhm.
just every bit as pretty. Every bit.
I'll leave the room. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Later.
Wow.
Later,
In the
dude.
Valley of the Gods, I loved Firewatch. I know a lot of people didn't as much. The storyline, people kind of fell off on the story. They didn't like the ending, but I really enjoyed it, and I didn't mind the ending. So I'm excited to see what this company is doing within the Valley of the Gods. Like I mentioned, it's a 1920s set in
Hey,
Egypt.
Baggy with the
So.
tier 1 sub. Thank you very
Becky,
much,
6
Baggy.
months.
Yo,
You're beautiful.
you good, bro? Subscribing to the greatest channel ever.
So I am curious about In the Valley of the Gods, and it looks really, really pretty too. The Sinking City I mentioned, it looks spooky, it looks mysterious. The official trailer doesn't really tell you much about gameplay itself. Just kind of you see this character shaving his face, and he has these tentacles that grow out, and he shaves them off.
Oh, shaving
and, like,
game.
And it's
Shaving
no
simulator.
like it makes me wonder because I don't know, it looks really cool, so I'm excited to see that because it looks a little different
off the top, thank you.
from the norm. So I'm curious to see what that one's about. One that Harry mentioned is Anthem. I am excited for Anthem, mainly because
Which
there's a
way's
lot of
Rambo?
talk
To
about
the
it.
right? Knock him out of there.
There's a lot of
Pop
talk
him out
about
of
it
the sky.
being a potential Destiny killer.
Oh, you love Destiny. There you go.
And so I'm
I would
curious
love
about
for
it,
Destiny to be killed. I want it to be killed to every regard. Destiny 1 disappointed me like crazy. I bought Destiny 2 on PC to play with friends, and then no one else bought it. And then I played it to like level 60 or whatever the max level was before they made it good. And then they made it good, and I refuse. I just refuse.
Burn Destiny to the ground.
Yeah, burn Destiny. Burn Destiny. That's why I want to play Anthem.
I'm excited. Like, I love Destiny, but I'm curious to see, because I've watched the trailers and stuff with Anthem. I'm curious to see what they do, and how it will actually compare. And, and maybe it will be, maybe it won't be, maybe it'll be something that ends up being completely different. I don't know. That's what I'm curious about and excited for. And one that nobody else has mentioned, which really surprises me, because when the trailer came out, there was
You're
so
gonna
much
say it,
hype
and I'm
about
like,
it.
oh, I forgot.
The Outer Worlds.
Ah.
Obsidian hasn't announced an official date, but it is expected to be mid to late 2019. And it's from the makers of Fallout New Vegas?
Fallout New Vegas.
New Vegas and the first one.
And so
Right?
it looks,
Yes.
I think so. It looks really cool. I haven't played any of the Fallout games, but this one makes me kind of curious about maybe playing Fallout games and it to compare and to see. And it looks really pretty as well. I'm all about graphics in games. So.
I just somehow
I completely forgot about that game, in all honesty. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Since it's only expected to 2019, that's the only reason I didn't put it on mine.
Yeah.
Well,
As sad as that is, but I just can't do it.
Yeah.
You did speak on Ori and the Blind Forest, and I just wanted to say that game is fucking awesome. However, I lost a lot of traction on it because before playing it, I played Hollow Knight and I played Celeste, and those games are insanely difficult compared to Ori, which is very not difficult. So I blew through that game. I didn't explore it as much. That game has a lot of exploration to it, and I just blew through it because that's what I was used to doing.
Right.
I'm very excited for number 2 though, to actually give it the try I think it deserves.
I hope I'm proven wrong on the whole Anthem thing. I hope that this is a game.
I think you will be.
I hope this is a game that like EA publishes and releases that actually is good, because I'm done purchasing things by EA because their service is terrible.
Right. Well, I mean, for me, it's like, I don't know. Anthem's BioWare. Mass Effect has been so good over and over, and then they sucked for Andromeda. But they sucked for Andromeda because they pulled. Do you not think Andromeda sucked?
I never cared for Mass Effect in the first place.
Oh, well, that's fine. Teach their own. You can be wrong. It's all right. We can move along.
Because when I went to go play the first Mass Effect, the game literally like froze and destroyed my Xbox 360. So I was like, "Yep, never touching that again."
Did you get red rings?
No, it wasn't red rings. I think literally started smoking.
Wow.
Because the game just literally just took a dump on me. So I do not.
Are you sure you didn't get like?
It was a digital download,
dude. Like, were you putting a porn DVD in? You can be honest. It's fine.
I just want to talk about it. Xbox vaping confirmed.
Red rings of death were like the scariest thing ever.
No, it was having the Jules mic.
Northern Bud mentions Dying Light 2, which I didn't realize, but I just looked it up, and it is expected to be released in 2019.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
I didn't see anything on it though.
I didn't either, but I just looked it up, and they do sometime in 2019.
Yeah. I never played the first one, so I'm not very excited about it.
I tried to play.
I played a little bit of the first one. I hope.
I tried to play the first one.
I want to go back and play it now, especially now that I have a computer that can truly handle it.
Well, good for you. Mine's still.
I think it'd be fun, and they're doing a full release to Dying Light this year. I know of, with their battle royale type game, which I think is an interesting thing. That the whole battle royale thing. They're not calling it battle royale.
Yeah, but everything's a battle royale.
One has to get out, and you have to fight the NPCs and other players. So it's PvE and PvP,
oh, like SOS.
which I think is cool. Yeah.
SOS, please, somebody help me. Sorry.
So they have two kind of things coming out right now, which I think is super interesting. Super interesting.
I enjoyed from what I played of Dying Light, but my computer literally was like at 100%. If you remember that, I couldn't. It was like having issues, and I got a
Never even
I got a
tried it.
1060, and it was like.
Well, it's because it loads the whole map at once instead of in segments.
What was
Yeah.
it like? Can you tell me again what it was like? Okay, just making sure.
There you
just
go,
making
buddy.
sure. You should probably
And
not
to
put
those
water on
listening
your
to this
computer.
later, I apologize for your ears now.
However, don't put water in your computer no matter how many times it asks for it, Rambo. Maybe that's why your Xbox started smoking, because you're like, Mass Effect, quick, drink some water, Xbox, it's fine.
That was from 10 years ago, bud, okay?
All right.
So I have some more games that aren't necessarily your run-of-the-mill games. The indie games, ones that people may not know about. Miracle Master, thank you for that party of 2 raid.
Welcome, Raiders.
Welcome.
Ooh, I forgot
There's
about a
some
game.
really cool indie games, but we'll let Harry talk about a game he forgot first.
Concrete Genie. Announced 2 years ago for the PlayStation 4. Looks absolutely stunning. I forgot it existed. Saw something about it 10 minutes before we met up to get ready for this cast. Looks so cool. You're just like art. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it. You're pixel art. You use a paintbrush to paint onto walls, but you use the gamepad on your PlayStation 4 controller, and then those paintings come to life, and you could use different colors to make them have different attributes. It just looks like a really, really fucking cool platformer.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Mm-hmm. And it's an indie game. That's what made me think of it. At least I think it is.
Ah,
But
could
go
be,
for
yeah.
it. Indie games are my favorite games, so
There's a
please,
ton, mine
please
too.
go.
There's a ton of them, and I just picked 10 that I thought looked
Dude,
kind of cool of
These
different
last
styles.
few years.
There's the first one that kind of popped up is a point-and-click adventure called Lord Winklebottom Investigates the Case of the Expired Axolotl.
Hell yeah!
It looks amazing.
Let me
Lord
write that down
Winklebottom,
right
how
now.
are you?
Lord Winklebottom.
Lord Winklebottom, pleasure to see you again.
It looks really cool. There's one called Ruki, R-U-K-I. It looks really pretty. It's also point and click, I believe, kind of with like this Swedish styling to the art and to the story. Now, what would I tell you about a game that is a Ren and Stimpy Ghostbusters style game?
I don't know how to feel about that at all.
I feel
There's coming out with
Like-
a game called Dead End Job, and that's exactly what it is. It's like Ren and Stimpy art with you're a Ghostbuster.
That's what I needed to know. Like,
Oh,
is it
I legit
Ghostbusters
thought, like-
and Ren and Stimpy, or is it Ren and Stimpy art? That's what I needed right there. So like
I
Our
was-
Real Monsters type look.
Kind of. Yep.
I
so
thought-
like
I
Ren and
thought-
Stimpy meets the
oh my
Ghostbusters,
God.
and it's a twin stick shooter. So think kind of like
Oh,
Isaac.
Mad. What is it? Mad TV? Rad TV for Super Nintendo? Or
I
just
don't
like any top-down shooter and flip around.
Yeah,
just
just
one of
think
the
kind of
bigger
like Binding of Isaac.
I
in ways.
legit
Yeah.
felt felt conflicted on that because I was like, wait a minute, why is there coming out with a Ren and Stimpy game in Ghostbuster style?
Yeah, that'd be
I'm
really
so
weird.
conflicted.
Ren and Stimpy doesn't have a game. I don't know if
It's like those guys
Ghostbusters
are
even
from
has
the
a game.
'90s. Why are they bringing them back?
Yeah,
I mean, the best
I mean
things-
they're bringing back Toe Jam and Earl, so who knows what can happen next? I'm waiting for my Prap of the Rapper remake, to be honest.
Oh man.
That's what you heard it here first, baby. We got hot bars. Fire mixtape coming 2020.
Genesis Alpha 1 is coming out sometime in 2019. It's kind of a base building,
Ignore that. Ignore that. Don't saw
base
that. It's
building
fine.
rogue-like first-person action game.
Huh.
Okay.
Basically, you have to build your ship, but it's roguelike first-person in shooting, going and
That's
gathering your
exciting.
things. I think it's really kind of a cool aspect for an indie game. That feels more like something you would see out of a, can't think of AAA style game. So then I also have Beyond Blue. Rambo, this one made me think of you. It is
Oh.
John Blue looks really cool.
Beyond Blue. It is a ocean exploration game that has mystery involved in it, and it's in a future South China
Oh.
Sea. It looks really pretty. It's very realistic.
You got me sold, love. Okay.
he's like, hey, listen.
How you doing?
Yeah, that was an interesting thing you did.
Sony Battle All Stars, yo, don't remind me. You got to play as Bubbles in that game. Fucking
Sony Battle
Bioshock.
All Stars was who was that one dude that was just overpowered in Sony Battle All Stars? There's one guy that could just beat anybody with his final whatever
Kratos.
smash. Probably, honestly, that would make the most sense.
I have no idea. I didn't play.
PlayStation 3.
Okay, how about this combination? Stardew Valley,
Oh,
and Pokemon.
Where's Queen?
that's just regular Pokemon. I didn't
There's a
really play
game-
much Stardew.
There's a game coming out called Ooblets,
Oh,
and in it you farm, you create your farm, and you collect little monsters, and you can have dance battles with them.
sounds like some Monster Rancher type deal from like PlayStation
Kind of.
1.
Dance
I know.
battles.
It looks super cute though.
I like dance battles, so I'm thinking that's my game.
Ha.
It looks super cute. It's super cute.
Rainbow looks super cute.
There's the ooh.
Thank you.
Ooh,
I'll leave you two
you're so
moments.
welcome, buddy.
The Texorcist.
More the merrier,
is
Muse.
the story of Ray Bibbin, the Texorcist. It's a bullet hell game meets a typing game.
Ooh, wait, what?
Yep. So you like type out the story, and it's a bullet hell game. So I'm kind of curious about it because I love to type.
I was
I'm a
gonna say
nerd,
you're gonna ace that.
and I like bullet
I
hells.
wish I loved to type. I need to learn how to type. During typing classes, I pulled up like E-Bombs World. So how do you think that's gonna work? Did you look at anything on it? Because a bullet
I
hell, you
watched
have
a-
to avoid stuff. How are you gonna type and avoid stuff? That's confusing.
I'm not sure. That's what I'm curious about. Like as I was watching, I think there's movement, but you also have to type it. So I think it's like a combination of like you try
Like,
to avoid and
Move
type
left,
it out.
1 Move right, 1
Yeah, but it's actually like words. Like you have to
We're
type
going
out the
back to
story,
the 70s.
and it has the words above you,
Right.
and I think down at the bottom it has the whole phrase of like what you're going to be typing out. So it
Like
looks really
Oregon
interesting.
Trail
I'm curious
bullet
about it.
hell. That's what I'm
Hmm.
thinking.
Kind of, yeah, maybe. I don't know, I'm curious about that one.
Cool.
There's a platform shooter. It's the best way I could describe it, called My Friend Pedro. in
Ooh,
which
my friend Pedro looks sweet.
It does. It very much does. You have a sentient banana named Pedro, who's your friend, who's convincing you to kill.
Yeah.
What happened to Napoleon Dynamite?
It looks. Napoleon Dynamite doesn't have a banana.
He has
Yeah, but he has
Pedro.
a friend Pedro.
Oh,
You gotta
Pedro.
vote for him.
Vote for
It's his
Pedro.
friend. Hello. So
He's not
my
a
friend
sentient banana.
Pedro, please continue Music Show because I want to talk about
It looks super cool. There's a lot of the platforming, and like the guy, your character can do like these crazy acrobatic movements and shooting and dropping boxes on people, and it looks like a lot of fun.
It's unbelievably goofy. It's got like almost a ragdoll mechanic look to it. Kind of has the same visuals as Mr. Explosion Man from Xbox 360. It kind of there's like a lot of, like she said, a lot of stuff you can do. You can have a skateboard and you go off a ramp and you do a kick flip and it hits this dude in the face and you get points for that. Or you could slide under a little platform, kick up a frying pan, shoot up into the frying pan. It'll shoot either way and kill two people. Like the whole game just looks like goofball. It looks like Mr. Explosion Man meets like I don't even know. Maybe Earthworm Jim, like the goofiness of Earthworm Jim with the looks of Mr. Explosion Man.
There you go. Yeah, that works. Napoleon Dynamite's the best thing to come out of Idaho.
Yes. Yes.
And potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes. What the fuck? Potatoes. Potatoes are the best thing forever to come out of Idaho.
Another game that I saw looks kind of interesting. It's kind of a open world adventure game called Pine. In it, you play a boy named Hugh, Hue. like
Graham?
Is he here?
just like ours. But you are trying to find a new home for your tribe. The thing that was kind of cool is that the environment around you changes regardless of what you do. It's triggered kind of on its own evolution.
Huh.
So it's not
Okay.
like, you know, you have to go to this spot and then this happens. Like it events trigger type of things, but it's not like if you don't have to do specific things to get it to do it. It's the events themselves. So it's on an evolutionary timeline rather than you have to do A, B, C, and D to get it to happen.
Gotcha.
Another one that I'm super interested in is called TikTok: A Tale for Two.
Is
It's
it
a
about
puzzle
clocks?
game. It's a puzzle game for two people, and one player will have half the clue, the other player will have the other half, and you have to figure out how the clues match up and figure it out.
Oh, that
To
sounds
get
fun.
through it. And the thing that I think is really cool about it is it's going to be released on PC, Switch, and mobile, and they're saying that there will be crossplay between the three. So I think that's really, really cool.
That's cool.
Something a little bit different and something for an indie game to be doing, especially, is very exciting. Undermine, I have played this one. They're planning on having this released. It's
that one was
roguelike.
cute. That one was really cute.
It's super cute. You go into a mine, you're collecting gold. You have different monsters that you have to face. There's different like curses and stuff. It's super cute. It's one of my favorites. I'll probably be playing it a lot when it comes out. I'm really bad at it though. But as some may or may not know, we actually have a collaboration within our community with some indie game devs.
Yes.
And I had a few of them get in contact with me so we could talk about their games that we know for sure are coming out this year in 2019. One of which is called Twin Cop. And the story with Twin Cop is Twin Cop,
Cops.
COP.
Cool.
All right, get your head out of the gutter.
Let's just enunciate.
Cop.
There we go.
In it.
I actually thought cups, by the way. Just so you know, I thought cups, and I was thinking of Cuphead, not the thing that you
Cuphead.
thought I heard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So both of you get your heads out of the gutter, because that's
wasn't
not where mine was
anywhere.
going.
I was on my game. I don't know where he was. So, anyway, in this game, basically the story behind it is you were two cops, who there was an accident.
No, I can't unhear
And-
it. Thanks a lot, Rambo.
There's an accident, and now the two of you are now one. So it's a cooperative game. I'm just gonna cooperative.
Co-op is not what's messing us up. Just
I'm just gonna enunciate everything overly.
Low.
it is a cooperative.
Cooperative twin stick shooter game.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
So one
So you
person
could
controls
just-
the right arm, the other person controls the left arm. You both control movement.
And then you lie and you just hold
do
it by
it
yourself and say you're playing with two people.
But it's like really cool. Like you can heal. Like if you both manage to move in the same direction in sync with each other, you get healing benefits. It looks kind of interesting.
That's cool. I kind of like that mechanic. I'm sure it already happened. I'm not very good at keeping up to date with League of Legends because I hate that I play that game. But they were doing during their whole Pro Series Championship thing, they had a kind of like how when you do the Pro Series for the MLB, you know, they'll fucking do their home run derby, or hockey will do skill contests. They had something like that, but they had duos play with one person would have the keyboard and one person would play the mouse. And if anybody has ever played League, that sounds terrifying.
It's
But
awful.
also it sounds like it could be a lot of fun, especially if you're playing at that pro level. So I kind of like hearing that an indie developer, especially somebody that is within our community, even cooler, is doing something like that where it's you're both controlling one thing. Can add up to a lot of frustration like Overcooked 2, but can also probably be a really fun time.
I think so. It looks like a lot of fun.
Overcooked.
Overcooked's the perfect game for you to hate your friends.
I love that game.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a good
I don't
one.
hate my friends. I just gotta help them with cooking.
Another game coming out of our community, or from our devs in the community, is called Wave Break. It's inspired by the classic arcade skateboarding games, but it's got a splash of boating, explosions,
No
and
pun
murder
intended.
involved. So, it looks really kind of cute. You go around in this, and you grind with your boat, and it's really interesting.
You grind with your boat.
You get points for grinding your boat like you would a skateboard. So
All right, I'm sold. I'm ready to
Yeah,
play
it looks-
right now.
it looks cool.
Load it up. I want to grind a
Um,
boat.
For people who like rhythm games, this one looks kind of interesting. It's called Double Kick Heroes. It's metal, and it's a rhythm shooter game.
Huh.
It
That's how you double
it
kick.
looks really cool. It's currently in alpha, with a release in 2019. So, that one looks kind of cool for those that like rhythm games and metal. Good mix.
Cool.
And then the last one I wanted to mention that is they're doing early access for 2019, but I'm still going to mention it. Is Summoner's Fate. It is a top-down adventure that combines that dungeon crawl adventure with deck building, card collecting.
Oh,
And I
that could be a
know
lot
there's
of fun.
There's a couple of people who have played it from our community. Mega Ferret, I believe, has played it. Don't quote me on that. I think he has. And Elizigator? Oh god.
Oh
Worst
dear
mod
God.
ever.
Oh dear God.
I think Liz has played it. As
That
well.
sounds like a cool game. Hearthstone did something kind of similar to that, actually. Maybe they got the influence to it where they released with their single player expansions that you go through a dungeon, you fight a boss, and then you can pick from 3 different stacks of cards, and that gets put in your deck, and then you build your deck as you go ahead and beat each boss. So if it's anything similar to that, it's probably a lot of fun.
I think so.
Even if it's not similar, that's just a cool. It's kind of like a dungeon crawling, but it's also like a choose your own adventure. So I'm a big fan of those deck build as you go types. It's an amazing game. You have played it in New York. So New York Gamers in the chat, he said he has played it, that it is quite amazing.
You gonna share?
No.
Pretty cool.
Wow. Okay.
There's only enough for me, okay?
Okay.
That's
What do you got there? I wasn't paying
It's-
attention.
It's fine.
I was doing the whole cast
brought-
thing, not getting food. So what's going on here?
I was brought to me, and it's apple tart, and it looks amazing, and it's delicious.
Hey yo, Schmitty, bring me an apple tart. Just kidding. No one's home.
So in the list that I pulled, some of the other ones, it was a list of 60 indie games that you should be excited for. So much like the bigger games, there's a bunch coming out in 2019 that I think has a lot of potential for people. Train subscribed with a tier 1 sub for 6
Hey.
months.
Yo,
Train.
much love,
You is the
Train.
bomb. I miss your
Train.
face.
Thebomb.com, buddy boy.
I told him I was gonna be in disguise. Shit, I gotta put my wizard costume back on.
Yeah, what you
Oh, well.
doing?
What am I doing? What am I
Who's-
thinking?
Who knows? Who knows? So
Oh.
any other 2019 game thoughts that have popped up?
Not that I could think of. I think it's going to be a good year in gaming, and specifically, as you were just bringing up, because of indie games. I don't have a lot listed on my top 10 specifically because they release all sorts of crazy, and they don't have a lot of prior knowledge of them until they come out. But last year was insane for indies. The year before that was insane for indie games.
Each year it
So-
just
Really
keeps
up and
getting
coming, it's
better, and they
awesome.
just keep promoting
even-
more indies.
And
The
it's
fact
getting
that
amazing.
There was an indie game within the VGAs this year that beat out some AAA games. You know, like
Yeah.
there's
What game would that be?
going on.
Dead Cells.
Oh, hell yeah. I
Yep,
knew
Dead
it
Cells.
was Dead Cells, but for some reason I was thinking of Celeste.
Celeste did win. Celeste
You
did
made
win.
me
It's
panic.
Celeste
the-
won
Celeste
Indie
got
Game of the
2
Year, yeah.
awards,
Celeste did win
But,
for like the best independent
Oh, I just knocked my
game.
webcam.
but-
everywhere.
an Impact or something. Game
Yeah,
Impact?
and then Dead Cells actually won for best action game.
Action.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually did not know that.
Odd.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's
So
actually
I
very
think
cool.
there's a lot of great hope for indies, and I think a lot of there's a lot of reason for these guys to get really excited for what they're doing because they're making a splash. They're not just kind of like
Right.
the games
they're-
that fly under the radar. People are starting to look for indie games because they're showing that 2 guys can create this game that's amazing and people are going to love it.
And I think
And-
each and every year, indie developers are getting more comfortable and promoting
Mhm.
or being able to do that. Like,
and they're getting more
Harry-
resources.
Like Harry said, last year it
Mhm.
was big. The year before that it was big. It is because more and more people are getting more confident and comfortable with it to promote this stuff and get it out there and develop it.
They're not scared to play it. They're not scared to outreach. They're not scared to get people to play a game. I mean,
No.
I did my top 10 all-time favorite games last night because me and a couple of friends have been doing that lately, and 2 of them are in my number 3 and my number 2 are both indie games. And that would not have happened 5 years ago, I don't think. 6 years ago, even.
Yeah.
Battle Princess Madeline came out end of 2018, still coming out for Switch this year. I don't know anything about that one. I haven't heard anything about that one. Breach, Train's talking about Breach. I know he's been playing a lot of it. I've seen him play it, but I don't know much about it other than that. Because isn't that the one that you've been? I'm assuming it's the one you've been playing.
It's the one that Train's been streaming and playing a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not crazy.
There was an ad I actually saw on it not too long ago. It looks really cool.
Awesome. Well, we've talked about what's coming up. Harry, why don't you tell us about what you felt about 2018 in gaming?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to touch on this pretty quick because it was my favorite year in gaming. So I was sad that I did not get to do a 2018 wrap up. And these two lovely people gave me a little bit of time. I'm not doing a top 10, though. That would take much too long. So first of all, in 2018, thank you, Twitch Crew. Because I found Twitch Crew in 2018. And that jumped my gaming to a million heights. This community is absolutely incredible. I think actually I know for a fact the guy who brought me to this community is in the chat right now, and that's the Train. Thank you very much, Train. But Twitch Crew's awesome, has been awesome community. Anybody who's listening to this after that I share, please check them out. As far as gaming went, I streamed. I was able to do that. It was too much fun. But gaming specifically, I played some games that are 3 of them are my top 10 of all time, being Hollow Knight, Celeste, and God of War 2018. Holy crap. So Hollow Knight didn't come out 2018, but it's when I played it because it was released on the Switch. That game is beautiful. It is difficult. It is so much fun. The story's interesting. Celeste is probably one of the best games I've ever seen. Again, it's an indie developed game. They touch on anxiety problems, depression problems, all these mental things that people deal with while also just making this beautiful platforming game. And then God of War 2018 I played, which Rambo essentially screamed at me to play.
I would not leave you be. I even told Vile, because Vile's like, yeah, I played about 5 hours of it, and he like dropped it.
How did he put it down? He was
frustrated with it at that time.
Well, because he chose to play it on the highest difficulty, which even I was like, all right, I gotta go down from. But the thing was, like, I forced Vile to do it, and he finally finished it, and he was like, that was absolutely amazing. And then I forced you to go play it because I'm like, you'll love it.
It's a dream game. I mean, it's seriously a dream game. It's an impossible game. It doesn't make sense that it's so good. It's the first game I've ever, when you're traveling in the boat, he starts telling stories, and you get to your location, you don't want to get out of the boat because you want to hear more of the story he's telling. It's incredible. The collectibles are fun to get. They don't feel like out of the way. All the side quests are amazing.
The collectibles add to the experience and the lore as well. So.
It's not just like Crackdown, for instance. I love Crackdown. I was talking about that earlier. But like the orbs that you can collect, it's just orbs just out there for no reason.
Yeah.
There's no want to get them. Completely different God of War. It's not a game I have 100% because I haven't had time, but I do want to. I just think the game's incredible. Perfectly made. Story's unbelievable. I know some people still haven't played it, so I won't talk about endings, but
it also
I'm also a big fan of Norse mythology.
Yeah, it also shows the growth and maturity of Santa Monica Studios, because going from where they were from God of War 3 and everything, how it's just literal gore on gore action and everything, to something that's like actually has a story, emotional attachment, and everything towards that. Going into God of War, I never played. I knew everything about it because I watched people play it. So like I wasn't coming in there completely blind. But playing it was like amazing. Even I was like, oh my God, I've never felt so many emotions, good and like bad. That was like, oh yes.
I mean, it's just like
boy
of
war.
That game's so good. I could talk about it forever. But again, the Norse mythology thing I love. My nephew was just born like 2-3 weeks ago, raised a bunch of money for that, as you guys know. His name's Odin, which is fucking a lot of pressure. But also, I mean, it's just things like that. I don't know. They took a mythology and made it their own and made it that badass. And how you just said how they grew was also awesome. Like Devil May Cry, I talked about that earlier. When I was a kid, made me love the series. And I like that they're staying true to their edgelord. I'm Dante, the coolest guy ever. I like that they're staying true to it. But God of War hit me at that same time, and it was edgelord, brutal, gory, blah blah. And if they did that again, I would have loved it. But the fact that they didn't, and they took that series and just made it unreal, made me twice as happy.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a game that I don't think either of you play, and I actually haven't played in like 6 months, but I think it's going to be game of the decade. I kind of think it has to be. It's changed everything. That's Fortnite. I mean,
Oh, I play it every now and then.
We
Yeah.
played.
okay. I'm not talking like the gameplay, just like what they've done. Their battle pass, everybody's doing it now. Battle Royale is in. I know they're not the first person to do Battle Royale, but they made it explode. It's just crazy, right? It's
we
the
talked
first
about that.
game.
We talked about that a little bit last time with whether or not you like the game. They've done a
Right.
lot with it.
The
And
company,
the fact that
the
they're
biggest
constantly adding to it is
The-
amazing.
the
Over,
development,
over.
even in like the certain events that they even have of like the rocket that happened, the
Right, they have
rift,
one map
the
that
rift that
literally
happened and
has lore.
everything. Like the dedication that the developers and the company actually proves is amazing. Although the game is pretty,
That's probably true, American Master.
mixed
But yeah, and-
between a lot of people.
Right.
How the company goes with it is outstanding.
And that's my thing. Like, and it's also the first game that's cross-platform to this insane standard now. Like, look at it. I can play an Xbox game with PlayStation, computer, and somebody on their phone.
And a
What does
phone,
that even
and
mean?
Switch too.
And Switch. What does that even? It doesn't make any sense. I would never have even deemed it possible 2 years ago, even that I would ever play with PlayStation. Xbox and PC has been happening. PlayStation and PC has been happening. I would never, ever thought I would get to play with my PlayStation friends on the Xbox. And I just think that's so cool. And I've been challenging people now. I saw it in a podcast not that long ago, but I've been challenging people now to tell me what they don't like about Fortnite. And I understand, like, gameplay wise, you could say the cartooniness of it, stuff like that. But things that when people don't like it, that's fine. But when people call it a bad game, I can't really see anything that makes it a bad game. It's the first, like, honest free to play game. If you buy the battle pass once for $9, you make enough to buy the battle pass again every time they do a new one if you don't spend it on other cosmetics. I mean,
True.
it's crazy.
I think
I wouldn't say it's a bad game. It comes down to preference on whether you like the game or not. And whether you like a game doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's just your preference.
just people sometimes stake on that and say it's a bad game, even though it's not. They say it's a bad game because it's nowhere near to the style they like. But it's
I
something
feel like
that
a lot
is
of it's because it's the
exploding.
new game, or not the new game. It's the big thing. I think people just want to hate on the big thing.
Oh, that's always.
I think that's the biggest thing about it because I haven't played it again like 6 months, but I can't. Every time I think about it, I'm like, just this game's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And then I know Rambo, you play this game a lot, and I do not play it a lot, but I wish I did. Rainbow Six Siege had an awesome year, man. People are loving it. It's been getting good updates. I really wish I played a lot more of it myself. That's a really cool
Their
game.
development and everything has been really good. Because when the game came out, it was pretty much unplayable.
Right, no, because that's when I tried to play it, and then I never picked it back up.
I've been playing the game since pre-release, since June 2015. And so seeing its growth and everything through how it's played and how it is has been phenomenal. This year, well, not say this year, last year technically, 2018, they did a lot of things. Season 1 for year 3, they had the event of Operation Outbreak, which brought a new game mode, which was a Left 4 Dead horde mode type like vibe, which no one was
I
expecting.
didn't even know that was a thing. I would love to play that.
Yeah, they had it for
Short term,
a
awesome.
month, but
Oh,
people wanted to come back because it
Bring
was
it
something
back.
that it was so
bring
out of it.
back.
But everyone loved
back.
because of it, because everyone loves Left 4 Dead. But to
Yes.
have that go in and with the mechanics and the feel for Rainbow Six Siege, it was phenomenal. It was great. So they did have a good year. ESL.
It
and
reminded me of
everything-
Overwatch.
Yeah, ESL and
Remind me of
everything
Overwatch.
has boomed like exploded over this whole year. They had the biggest showing ever for the ESL invitationals this year, actually beating Fortnite and being the #1 for the weekend.
See, that's crazy.
With 150,000 viewers for it, which never happens for Siege. So it has been a good year for Siege.
Awesome. That I kind of knew that you played a lot of it, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I just know it had an awesome year. My little brother loves it. I know a lot of people that played it. I just haven't jumped into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all I really want to talk about 2018. Just the streaming's been awesome. Community seems to be like it's been blowing up. Twitch seems like it's blowing up. I mean, obviously in part to Ninja, as much as I hate saying it, but I mean, Fortnite, everything has blown Twitch up. Everything's getting bigger, and I think it's really, really, really exciting.
Yeah. What New York just brought up as well for the 2018, CSGO went free to play.
Really?
Yeah, they went free to play.
I did not hear that.
They went free to play right when they released their Battle Royale mode, which is interesting.
CSGO has a Battle Royale mode? I'm telling you, man. Shit's crazy out here.
Yeah, they released a Battle Royale mode, which I heard isn't half bad. So that's interesting. But yeah, they made it free to play, which all I have to say
is that's a good move.
I want my money back.
Yeah, that's the problem with going free to play. People that paid for the game, if you then go free to play, it's like, shit.
Yeah.
Thing with that being, though, at the same time, CSGO's been out for a very long time. You've already gotten your money's worth out of it if you've played it at all. So, all right. Well, neither here nor there. I think that is a good move for them going free to play. I did not know they did. It plays like a free to play game. Yeah, it revitalizes the game. Makes me think, hey, maybe I'll play CSGO.
Anyone who's
because
like,
I like gun
hey,
game.
This game looks all right, or people who were the fans and had like CS Counter-Strike Source and like, nah, I don't want to spend the money. They're able to now try CSGO for free.
And it's got a good format for a free to play, I feel like, because they got so much stuff.
Yeah.
I really didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go play it and say, look, Rambo, you paid for this. You want to talk about paid for games that went free though and then blew up? I bought the original Fortnite before it was announced with Battle Royale or anything. I bought the biggest edition of it, and I did the buy one for a friend thing to give myself even more stuff.
Oh yeah, where you went wrong.
Oh yeah, and that game,
I got it when it was on sale.
Oh yeah, I did not. So me and my roommate both bought it. I thought the game was gonna be super exciting. It wasn't. I wasn't a big fan. It was fun, and then it became too grindy. It just,
Yeah.
No, I liked the idea behind it, and then their Battle Royale was awesome. The Battle Royale was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
No.
There's just no argument. I think Rambo has some tech talk we'd like to get into.
Heck yeah, he does.
Okay, so
as in talk. No, I'm just kidding. Did you mute yourself, really?
No,
You're the worst.
I didn't.
Oh.
Miming.
You just mimed. I'm an idiot. For anybody listening to this after, Rambo just moved his hands a lot and made his mouth move, and I thought he muted himself.
I'm from Connecticut. The two states in between me are Boston and New York, so we gotta mix the things. We move our hands.
That has nothing to do with you miming.
So
Anyways.
the thing I'm actually bringing up is a lot of people bring this up in discussions in the tech support or other such suggestions within the Twitch crew Discord is game captures.
Hell yeah.
Everyone, you guys are always looking for new game captures or a game capture to actually purchase because you're like, hey, I want to play my favorite game, so I need it. What's to get? So I have here a list from 2018, a top 5 of capture cards that have released.
Rambo's number 1 is always an Elgato product. He's a big fan.
No.
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 Oh, stop it, please. No.
So this list is not in order, but like the best to least. This is just 5 of them. You get a capture card. It works for some oldies too. Yeah. So this going in, we're starting with number 1, which is actually a Razer product, the Razer Ripsaw, which you can get for 180 USD.
US dollars.
It's surprising because the product of it is really good. It is like the big advantage to it is obviously Razer's trademark sleek design. It's black on black with a single LED along standard. It has HDMI and USB 3.0 ports. So it actually, you get a component as well with it, allowing you to do older video sources, and it has 2 separate audio ins in and out. It is actually has low latency response on it, which is really good for streaming.
Low latency is huge.
So comparing it to the audio and everything, they'll be right on point. You can stream up to 1080p and 60 FPS. It says there wasn't anything on it saying it is compatible with 4K. So if you do have 4K, I'm sorry. That's the downfall towards it. And as well, the Razer Cortex, which is actually their streaming software that they have, do not do it. You don't have to use it. I would actually prefer you would to use either Streamlabs, OBS, or XSplit, or any other broadcasting software that you have, because their Razer Cortex is complete garbage. It actually hurts your hardware and has caused a lot of freezing and errors that happen with it. So the product of it, really good. The software that you can use with it, terrible. So that's the con. Those are the cons with it,
Bad
though.
combo.
So you can use it with Slavs and XSplit, though, correct? And OBS.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
The game capture card, it just will read as like your video capture device. You know how when you do your webcam and whatnot,
Right.
it will read as that.
I was only curious for anybody else who might think that, like, hey, so should I just not even buy this? Because does
No.
anybody really use the soft? Like, no one that has Elgato, I don't think actually uses Elgato's streaming service.
Some people
could be wrong.
use the Elgato software for recording because it is more compatible, and you don't have to really mess with the settings if you're recording. But yeah, most of the time when people do it, most game capture devices, you'll be able to use it with the streaming software that you use: OBS, Streamlabs, OBS, XSplit, whatever you have. So Razer product, surprisingly good. Kind of pricey if you're not like wanting the 180 or so. Most game capture cards are going to be pricey, however. So it's kind of like, what are you gonna get for your bang for your buck? You know.
Cool.
Second is an Elgato product. The Elgato Game Capture HD60S. It is an external one. It's not internal. So it's not PSI and all that. Its pros towards it is it's built for streaming. If you're gonna use it, you want to use it for streaming. You're not gonna want to use it for recording. It kind of actually is very slow on it. It is 3.0 USB, low latency transfer, 1080p to 60 frames. I do believe it is compatible with 4K though as well. So that is a big plus. The cons to the HD60S is it's a bit ropey at like recording footage, so wouldn't recommend if that's your top, like your priority. If you're wanting something to record, do not get it. It can record footage, but you might have like dropped resolutions, or and the frame might have trouble keeping it smooth.
So quickly, I wanted to say I have an HD60S. I absolutely love it. What you're saying is all spot on. I will warn people. I think they patched it. I'm not sure, but the entire time I had it, if I turned off my Xbox and switched the HDMI in for the capture card to like the Nintendo Switch or something and switched it over, it would glitch the system and it would no longer pick up what I was putting out. I haven't had that problem in about 2 months. It was a problem before. However, I absolutely love it. I strongly recommend it for anybody that's getting a gaming PC that's strong enough to run a stream off, laptop, not PC, that can run a stream off of, because you can do things such as go over to your friend's house because it's completely external. It's about yay big and this thin. I mean, it's a very, very awesome capture card. It's what I've been using the whole time. But yeah, it's got its issues. Recording is definitely something you don't want to use it for.
Yeah.
And always look for it to be on sale. I see that you didn't have that in the notes, Rambo, because I know you don't pay too much attention to Elgato, but it's always on sale. You can get it for $1.25.
I was just going from the website on it. So the website price goes for $179.95 USD.
It's 125 probably every other month, which is another big draw to it because that's pretty good price for a capture card.
Got it. So that's one thing. The third one is the Elgato Game Capture HD60 Pro, which is around $200. It is an internal capture device, so it will go straight into your PC. So if you have a laptop or so, you're not going to be able to use it because it's going to need a motherboard to click into it port. So being it connects to the PCIe slot inside your computer. It is an H.26 encoder, 264 encoder, which is actually, like, most of the time runs well with your CPU. Because if you look on Streamlabs, if you go to your settings and encoding, you'll see X264. That's the compatibility to your CPU. So it actually will have a smooth flow to it instead of it trying to run from somewhere else. And as it's a single unit, it'll work with it. It goes up to 1080p at 60 frames and is compatible as well with 4K. It's pretty similar, like, streaming performance, and it actually is not half bad for recording as well. So if you're wanting to get something for recording, and if you have an actual desktop PC, it's not half bad. It'll pick up a fair bit of slack because with it, so leaving your CPU and GPU to focus on running as a game as well, instead of your component processing units to have to worry about it takes care of itself. So that's a good thing on it. Cons to it, naturally, it's a hell of a lot less portable just because it is your desktop. You want to bring it somewhere, you want to bring it to a friend's house, you got to bring your whole system. That's the sad thing. You can't. I would not recommend you unplugging it, plugging back into your friends, and then unplugging that out. That is a massive no. That is a no right there.
Just don't. Just stop. Just no.
Yep. So I did say stuff about footage. The footage is good. It is not the best though. It's pretty limited on capturing console footage unless, like, you keep your desktop right near all your consoles. So other than that, it should be good. So yeah, Elgato Game Capture HD60 Pro internal. It's $200 US dollars. If you guys are looking for that, that's pretty pricey, but it goes in. Number 4.
Goes hard.
Number 4 is most of you know this, my favorite, AverMedia. AverMedia to me has been probably the best game capture products I've purchased. I have an AverMedia Live Action Pro that I've had for like a year and a half, and I've had no issues, no freezing, no problems with it, no bugs, no whatsoever. I've been in the customer support for AverMedia has been very spot on. They've got to me as quick as possible if I do have any questions on that. So AverMedia Live Gamer 4K, it is an external, so it is portable. It's capturing 4K HDR content, is amazing. It can capture if like up to 240 FPS. It supports up to 240 hertz refresh rates in full HD. So if you have a nice monitor and you're wanting to do that and all, you got it. It is around $180 or so, if I remember, 180 USD. The only con towards it is that some of the ports I've heard have been buggy at times. Like a HDMI port, if you're not careful plugging it in and it gets scratched, it will just ruin it. So I have heard that about it.
That's very scary.
Yeah. So the next one is AverMedia Live Gamer Ultra, which is an external game capture card as well. I did game capture cards for the priority to like help people out, to those who have a laptop and don't have the accessibility for desktop. I tried to get most of that. So it is as well. It captures 4K, able to pass while it passes through, allows gamers the full experience of 4K HDR. It is not limited to 4K as well. So if you have something under, you can have it there as well. It is super compact. It's sleek. and efficient.
Sleek.
Its refresh rate can go up to 240 hertz as well, going from 60 frames per second to 240 per second. It is a little bit more pricey, almost around $200 or so. So that's gonna happen. The only the only issue with it though is does have some lag spikes occasionally. So
Is that for recording or streaming or both?
That's for both.
Ugh.
So it's not that bad, but you'll hear like an audio hiccup, and that's it. Having it, it'll catch itself back up surprisingly, but it does happen. It does happen here and there. So that's the only
For
thing about
$200,
it.
you would expect it to not have to catch up.
Yeah, no,
Right.
exactly. So it just
Well,
it's
Everything has its cons.
yeah, but that's pretty much with that. You guys can
So,
what's up?
oh, I just had a couple questions.
Yeah.
Most of these are external. You mentioned one internal.
Yes.
And one time I did hear somebody talking about that internal is better. What are your thoughts on which variety is better? You talked about external has the portability. The one internal was able to provide a little bit more power per se. So
Yes.
what are your thoughts?
So I think that it's all depending on the person, you know.
Yeah, I think that was more of a thing 2 years ago. Now it's like they're doing the same amount. I feel. I mean, I could be wrong.
No, having an internal does, no matter what, it can allow a lot more power because it is connected to a motherboard, which is allowing more from the power supply.
Right.
Like my computer, my power supply is 1,000 watts. It's in 1,000 watts. So having that connected to the motherboard, allowing power to flow through, it does give more an internal. But as Harry was saying, external is catching up on that with its strength and power. So you could have an HP laptop that probably was like $600 and like the Elgato
It'll do it.
HC60S could be compatible and run perfectly fine. The reason why I said externals a lot in this one, even though I prefer internal just because it's safer and you have less chance of it breaking. Although if it does break, it's a lot of money, so there is that risk. But I know a lot of people who don't have desktops, who don't have the big gaming PC or something.
Right.
They
That's how it helps.
They stream through laptops, certain things, anything that they can get their hands on. So I chose that again, looking for more externals, just because it allows that accessibility for people who do not have the money to spend on.
I didn't realize that Razer one was external. Actually.
Yeah.
I just downloaded Rambo's list for the 18th time.
So my other question was, this was a conversation that I've seen in our Discord, and that is that every streamer should have a capture card.
Yes.
Yes. I do think that is. Because
it's not necessary, but
you can even use your game capture card for your PC games, and it would just allow power towards it. Because, but I do think if you're wanting to, and you have console games, and you're like, hey, I'm wanting to stream this game, I need it. So that would be, it's a good thing, because even that can help with audio quality, it can help with performance on certain things, even PC games, depending on it. You can configure your own game capture card to allow better speed.
Right. It's all about doing your own thing and having your own fun. But like, for instance, when someone says, well, Xbox One, you could just stream off that. And yes, you can, but the quality is very, very poor. And people don't realize that because they don't usually, the people that are doing that are either not looking at their VODs, which I highly recommend you do if you're streaming, but they also just never really seeing what they're putting out. And it's fuzzy. It's fuzzy. It's not laggy. It's just fuzzy.
You're also
things like that.
You're also restricted because they have the preset settings onto it for streaming on consoles.
Right.
But you're also limited towards the speed. Console and sometimes PlayStation restricts and limits your speed. So if you're wanting to do if you're even able to do 6K bitrate for your stream and you're streaming through console, it's gonna limit that. It's gonna limit that, and it's gonna have an issue with it.
It'll block you.
So having a game capture card, and if you have a laptop or even a desktop that can handle it, having that game capture card allows that accessibility and better quality. towards
Yeah.
towards
And
your streams
especially
if
if
you
you
stream a
wanna-
lot of console games.
Right. Especially if you're I would go to say if you're a varietal streamer, you just get one
Hmm.
because you're gonna eventually need it, and it's gonna help you out now.
Yeah.
It's one of the top things you need. You need a mic, you need a webcam. You don't even technically need a webcam. You need a keyboard, and you need a fucking capture card.
Yeah.
Sorry, pardon my f bomb.
I got excited.
Dropping them. But yeah, I got really excited when I had my X360. What I used to do is because Xbox has the app on the desktop, I used to window capture that, and that went pretty smoothly. It had its hiccups. It was better than streaming straight off the Xbox. And then to stream my Switch, I would plug the Switch output. This is a workaround for anybody who wants it.
There you go, guys.
You plug the Switch input into the Xbox One has an output spot because they have the TV.
Yep.
Thing.
Yep.
So if you plug your Switch in there, guess what is there when you pull up your TV part? Your Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
So people are getting really confused when they come into my stream. They see me playing Celeste on Nintendo Switch, and then my Xbox guide would pop up. But you can do that. It is a workaround until you can afford the capture cards. They are a little more expensive. But the moment I had a capture card, it was immediate improvement. It was really, really nice thing. Similar to lighting. My lighting's still not great because my second light blew its brains out all over the floor. But
No.
lighting is a big thing too. And I think that could segue into something Rambo's going to be talking about.
Yeah.
But with new products coming out, lighting is also a big thing, but you probably got to be real careful. And I'll let Rambo lead into that. I'll just have points on it.
So those of you who have heard and everything, Elgato has released a few products. One of them being a huge deal actually to those who have bad lighting is called the Key Light. The Key Light is really cool. I actually did not know about this until Hugh Graham, shout out to him. He came in to the stream and was like, "Have you heard about it?" And I looked it up. It's really nice because
Tonight?
if you don't have the space or the lighting or so, these key lights can actually attach onto your desktop. They have a 2.5-inch clip that you can attach onto the back anywhere that'll give you lighting. I believe it is, I believe the size of it, if I can find out. No, I cannot. The size of it is about 5-6 inches in width and 4.5 inches in height, and it gives a nice like bright white lighting. So you have a green screen but terrible lighting, you can get them, and I believe it comes in orders of 2. I don't know what the pricing is though.
So that's the point I wanted to put on it. The Key Light is sweet. I've looked a lot at it. If you have a stream deck, it could hook up to that, so you can one button press, your stream will go live, your tweet will go out, everything will go out, and your lights will turn on. You can do so much cool stuff with the stream lights, and they have all the white balance, all the different levels. It's great. However, they are $200 a pop for one.
For one, okay.
Which would make it a $400 investment, which is insanely expensive for lights.
But if you're thinking of it, if you have the Stream Deck or certain so and allowing it to be compatible, it's not that bad, because not only are you getting with the lighting, you're getting it with the accessibility of the software as well.
Right, and that was my big point. But then I was talking to my friend Caps Lock Keon, good friend of mine. He is very knowledgeable about this stuff. He's been streaming for 4 years, and he brought up the fact that his is also all controlled because he has Philips Hue, which they now have. Where's my phone at? I thought it was right next to me. Act like a phone's in my hand. They have wireless, and you can just turn them off, turn them on with a button on your phone, which is the same. And they're talking about, most lighting companies are talking about having SDK built into their lights, which is what Elgato uses.
Yeah.
So you could still just put it to your Elgato Stream Deck. So it doesn't actually do anything different.
Yeah.
So those are still expensive lights, don't get me wrong, but they're not $200 a pop.
No.
I would say the biggest sell point is the fact that the Key Light is as thin as
they're super narrow.
It's like
and
a folded laptop.
I think what's good on it is mainly to focus on people who don't have that much room. You know,
right.
Your,
and that
your,
is a
your
big
setup
point,
is like in a little bedroom, little area.
Right.
These things can clamp onto it, and that being 2.5 inches and for the clamp, you could put it in good areas and have it, but it is a complete square rectangle white light on it. You can change the saturation on it and everything through the software. And if
Very
you
easily.
have a Stream Deck, it's awesome because you could press the dim button, hit the stat on it and whatnot. But being $200, I do say
Rough,
if
man.
you have the money,
Yes.
they can be a good investment. But if you don't,
But get a capture card first.
look into yes, look into other things, because I think at the moment where they're pricing and what it is, they're more of a luxury than a necessity, because you can find other alternatives.
Right. My lighting isn't great right now just because. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was just saying a good desk light can go a long ways too. To
Yeah.
get you by until you can do
That's
something.
what I used for
Exactly.
the most time. I had 2 lamps on here. It worked until they both blew out, and then I finally invested in got the Razer Kiyo, which is $100, but it's a good camera and it has the ring light on it, so it allowed me to have at least light towards my face, so I'm
Right.
not hiding in darkness.
And I mean, my lighting is okay right now for what you guys are seeing, but it's also not been balanced or anything because it's not my stream. We're using Rambo's stream. You can see how great his lighting looks. If you look at our Discord, which you guys can't see, my lighting's reasonable, and one of my lights are out. My lights, 2 of them, LEDs, cost, I think it was $60 on Amazon, shipped the next day. So it's really hard to pull a trigger on a $400 purchase.
Yeah.
And the other thing I want to say, I hate to keep playing devil's advocate to this product because I'm really interested in it. I think it's awesome. But the clamp thing, that's a good argument for it. But what stops you from just putting a clamp on another light? Clamps aren't like hard to do, make, or attach things to.
True.
Yeah,
So,
true.
I mean, it's built in, so that's nice. The product's awesome. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, I think
good.
I think it's more just how narrow and compact it is, and
Right.
how it's retractable, and you can change the height on the stand, rotate the light to whenever without it having issues with wires. You're not having issues with the wires or so, or mass camera stands and lighting stands. You know how the professionals do it. It's something that's compact, simple, and really that you can just slide back, put away, come back, and bring it back up. It's just, I think it's the sleekness of it, how it's so small.
Yeah. The design's
so much
sweet.
power.
I'm not arguing that by any means.
But I completely get what you mean. So right
It's
now,
just-
I think where it stands, they're good for if you have the money.
I think I might be more poking holes in it for myself than our listeners. To be honest. No, Brett, don't buy it. And these are the reasons.
Why? You're doing yourself in.
But another thing real quick I had to say that they released are called these docking systems, the Mini Docks Dock and Pro Dock, which are really interesting. It eliminates the things of cables. You have your cable for your keyboard, your mouse, your ear headphones, your this and that, And this is a docking system that plugs in to your computer just with one cord, and then you connect everything to that, and it sits on your desktop, your desk, and it just allows less clutter.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Does it just have that one USB spot though?
No, there is multiple. It's depending on the one you get. There's the Pro, the dock, and then the Mini Dock, which has a couple USBs and whatnot.
That's pretty sweet. Elgato, I think, is going to change the game as far as they make a lot of anywhere from decent to good products, and then they're all going to work together, which is sweet.
Yeah.
But also, I've got like my Razer keyboard has the same thing. My mic is in it, my headphones are in it, and it's got USB pass through.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So that's
But
all.
still,
That's
cool.
That's all I had to add on that.
I didn't know they
No,
had
that's
that thing.
awesome.
How much is this thing? Trying to click it.
Dun dun dun.
I'm in Corsair, and it brought me to
What?
a video game thing.
looking it up.
The Pro can be $350.
$3? Shit. That's rough too.
$3?
Really cool though to tighten things up. I
Yeah.
saw a streamer the other day. He had I don't know what it is. I haven't looked it up, and I want to try to explain it audibly for people listening and not watching. But he had it was his desktop, not his desktop, his screen, his monitor. The stand it was on had cable pass-throughs in it, and then there was a secondary tube on it that would come out for anything that you had to do in front of you. I thought that was a very, very cool way to have cable management because it's just built into your
Okay.
monitor stand.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it
That's
was
really
weird
cool.
looking, but it was very cool.
Nice. All right. Well, that brings us towards the end. I have a couple of announcements that I'd like to make. For those who don't know, we are part of a community called the Twitch Crew. We do a lot
Twitch
of
Crew?
things. We have tournaments, we have community nights, we have movie nights, we have crazy conversations about anything and practically everything in the Discord, especially on a Monday morning. We're all about trying to help support each other on and off stream. As part of that, the majority of my announcements have to do with things coming up. Our next community night will be the 18th, so a couple weeks out yet, but coming up soon. It is a Friday night. There'll be more details. I guess it's next week.
Fridays.
But I lose track. My work schedule got swapped on me, and I have no idea where I'm at in the week. But next Friday will be our community night. We'll probably do something like Jackbox again because that's simple and a lot of people can get involved with that, and it's a lot of fun. The week after that is our Smash tournament, which a lot of people have been asking for.
Is it not on a Friday?
It's on a Saturday.
Shit. Well, Rambo,
Um,
Eddie, everybody else, you're safe.
Safe.
Be nice and tucked
Alright,
in your
bud.
beds.
Okay.
Happy? You happy the
Um,
K rule is not coming around to town?
So it will be Saturday the 26th. It'll be at 4 p.m. Our hosts, our casters for it will be Mars Echelon and Tatia. Should be a good time with those two. Keep a lookout in the Discord for the details. Mars will be getting the sign-up sheets ready. It'll be a 1v1 tournament. And I think she's looking at doing like a 3-seed, 7-minute max.
Three. It's the
thing.
actual like Smash rulings is three stocks, 7 minutes, no
3 stars,
items,
yeah.
and Omega maps.
Hell yeah.
I don't know.
I heard you guys
are
were playing with High Hammer Spawn, actually. On Omega Maps.
But nothing else. Keep an eye out in the announcements for that. She'll get the signups. But it will start at 4 p.m. on Saturday the 26th. So get that on your schedule for those that want to play. We will be having our next charity event on February 2nd. Chose that because it's a Saturday and 2/2 is a nice easy day to remember. Friday,
Nice. Good
Saturday, February 2nd.
Can
We're
we
doing
wear
something a little bit
tutus?
different if you want to.
Nice.
There'll be more details in the Discord as well, including getting your opinion on which charity you as a community would like to support. I'm going to have some choices just to kind of get the conversation going. And then if there's a resounding call for a different charity, we can definitely get that set up. The last thing I just want to remind everybody is we do have merch. Harry is wearing a beautiful example of things. We are looking
For everybody
to
at home, it's a purple t-shirt with a fist on it that says Twitch Crew because we're awesome and we punch people in faces.
I feel like
We don't actually punch people in
You're
faces.
gonna
Don't
stretch
punch people in
that out so fast.
Ah!
I'm wearing the Twitch Crew jersey, which is not part of that, but we do occasionally do runs on it. Or we may do another one. We've done 2 runs so far.
Rambo's wearing all black
we
because
are-
he's emo.
He's emo.
I have no money.
We are looking at possibly providing different types of merch. So go and take a look, see what is out there that what is available. If you like it, if you wanted something different, we had a call for mouse pads and we were able to make some mouse pads. So go look, see what's there, see what you would want to wear as merch for the community and let us know.
No, I do state for the mouse pads, if you're expecting them to be the gaming size ones, they are not.
Nope, they're just your average mouse pad. They're not a gaming.
So if you
Not the big-
purchase it and
big
it comes
ones.
in a mail and you're like, why is this size? Apologize.
Oops. Your fault.
It's pretty clear on this site that it's just the normal the little square ones. But do let us know if there's something specific that you're wanting, as a specific kind of hoodie, t-shirt, leggings, whatever. We can see what we can do. Next up, we're going to kind of finish up with our featured member videos we've had since our last episode. Kate has been a featured member. Baggy, lovely Baggy. And this week is Spy Who Shagged
Is
Who,
it
by the
baggy
way.
or is it baggy?
Baggy, Becky.
Baggy.
Baggy.
Spy Who Shagged, which by the way, guys, he is a dad. Earlier today, it was announced that the baby was coming.
Who's
I have
that?
not heard whether or not, but Spy, our future member of the
Exciting.
week, is his baby Spy is
He's been shagging a bunch,
Baby.
so baby came.
Spy Who Shagged. So
He shagged correctly.
will
He did
now
a good
watch.
job.
we'll watch those videos and enjoy. If you're not following any of them, do go give them a follow. They're all amazing
Mhm.
people.
First off, we're gonna start with Kate.
Whoop, whoop. Are we deafened now?
Yes.
The first thing is so easy. Oh, someone.
Who the hell did that? I think he just let himself. Or he's punishing Kate. Into that place.
You guys see this? I'm being taken away, but I'm like wiggling, but I am not on the killer's shoulder.
Yeah, of the politics.
You can't-
How he watches a lot of Big Brother.
I don't know.
Hello?
Alt F4. Alt F4.
Oh, oh. You're such a dick!
How did you fall for that?
All right. That was Kate. And next we have upcoming Baggy.
Baggy.
Whoa, I'm swimming like an octopus! This is the first time!
Cake is always the answer to any problem ever in the history of the world.
The radio. Oh my god, I'm so spooked, guys. Oh my god! Oh my god! King everything. No, I'm not a sea monster. I'm a beautiful cephalopod. Doo-doo-doo. I'll be back in a minute. Oh my god, I fell off the ship! Crap! Same bar at the Barney. Sheila, if I swear if I cheat on my wife with Sheila, I'm so done with me. Oh my god, no! This is my actual nightmare. Oh my god, no! I freaking hate sharks.
And next we have coming up is our featured member of the week. That was great, dude. Next we have coming up is Spy Who Shagged Me, the final and finale one.
The Faja.
The Fasha of this one.
Get it? Because it's gold.
Take yours out as well.
I need Captain now.
Take it out. All right, on the count of 3, we're both gonna throw this. We're not gonna detonate. Oh no!
Pro, you're not protecting anybody but yourself, you dick. Thank you for the alert. Have fun at work. Ooh. Really surprised I didn't mess that up. It's a whole lot of irks. Irkin and the gherkin. Yeah! Got that Dubsky. There we go.
Does anybody have a launch pad?
There we go, boys. Woo!
You get back up.
By one kill. Oh, with that headshot. Yeah, buddy. Gert, answer the phone. It's right here.
Where is it? Where is
Right
it?
here. Right here.
Oh god, no god!
Nice.
I just gotta say, we have some amazing people in the community. So if you've been hanging out, if you're new to the community, do join.
Yes.
Come hang out, meet awesome people.
There's so much fun.
One last time, there's another link to our Discord. We'll see you there. Next week we'll be in this same time slot. We'll be on the Nines with Eddie Nines, and his next guest he interviews somebody from the community, and we will see you in 2 weeks with Crew Talk again.
Should I introduce who we're rating? Is that something I
betcha.
should? Okay, we're gonna be rating Capslot Keon. He is a friend of mine in real life. He's been streaming for like 3 to 4 years. He's got an awesome, very welcoming community, and he's extremely nice, very fun and entertaining to watch. It'd be awesome if we could bring him to our community. Probably not that hard to do either. After this raid, I'll just be like, hey, yo, check these people out.
Join us, BB.
He's awesome. So make sure you put in that Twitch crew hype. Stay around, talk to him a little bit. He's really good about talking to his chat. He's got a bunch of really fun sound effects you can mess with. So, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks you guys for everything. Stay awesome, stay beautiful, and we'll catch you in the next one. We out.
We're still here.